The Albuquerque metro area has rarely, if ever, seen a storm like the one that hit about 7 tonight, with wind gusts in the 80s and rain washing across the city in sheets. It was very much like a hurricane. For a half hour or more, driving was next to impossible as windshield wipers, even at their highest settings, could not keep up with the downpour.
25,000 P&M customers are without power in pockets throughout the metro area. There is widespread flooding. Many streets are lakes. But no hard information right now about flooded houses. Look at this. Conditions are still dangerous, but so far no reports of injuries. Down power lines near Gibson Boulevard and I-25 have caused closure of the freeway in both directions. And late word that the city has activated its emergency response team to deal with unfolding situations. That means additional police officers have been called in to help. We have team coverage on the storm, starting with Mark and what's going on right now.
Tell you what, you guys, we're still dealing with flash flood warnings here for the Albuquerque metro area, down into Valencia County, over into areas of Torrance County, and of course to the north of there as well, Sandoval County and Santa Fe counties at this hour. Flash flood watches down to the south. Don't be surprised if Socorro County gets added to this mix coming up here, because these storms are pushing down to the south. We're still dealing with light to moderate rainfall in central sections of the city. Remember, if you go back to earlier this evening, we had the storms which gathered over the northern mountains and then came rolling down. A storm formed near the metro area, and effectively we just ran those two storms into each other and it exploded right over the city. Now things are starting to quiet down, but as we move farther to the south, look what's happening here. We're getting heavy rain over a good portion of Socorro County, especially southeastern sections of the county right now, where the rainfall rates in these areas are 1 to 2 inches an hour, similar to what we had here in the metro. And we'll get into the metro rainfall totals in your full forecast, and they are unbelievable when you look at some of the numbers up in the heights and foothills. And yes, even the Sunport took a pretty wicked shot as well. Now, as far as the rain goes to the north, where all of this started a little bit earlier, starting to die down, cloud tops starting to come down a little bit. Things are going to quiet down here during the overnight hours, but we will see the possibility of more storms as we head through the next few days. And we are looking at temperatures right now in the 60s, winds not off the charts high. So the rain we're getting right now, well, I guess it's needed given how soaked we've been. This is going to continue to be a big time issue. Coming up, we'll break down exactly what happened, why this thing blew up, what's headed our way, and when we might actually get some help with, drier air.
Well, it was like a hurricane sweeping through the city. 1 minute, nothing. Then, next, a deluge of rain, hail, and amazingly strong winds. News 13's Kayla Ayers is live in downtown with the damage. Kayla?
Jessica, where I am, the rain and the winds have really died down. What we're hearing a lot of right now, sirens, and as you can see around me, a blackout across the city. Now, the storm just blew into the metro area after 7 tonight with wind gusts up to 89 miles an hour. This was the storm rolling over Kirtland Air Force Base. Video sent to us by a viewer. There's some sort of explosion and a small fire. We do not have word yet on if that was a power line, but here's some video of multiple downed power lines on Gibson near I-25. I-25 is closed in both directions. Now, strong winds have knocked down lines around the city and knocking out power again to thousands. The storm also left quite a mess near Old Town. Look at trees down in streets and yards. And a woman playing tennis at the UNM Tennis Club near the football stadium came out to find her van under a tree at APD Main. Police are reporting some water damage. They say nobody was hurt, but some ceiling tiles did fall. Police also say Valley Area Command is flooding. Now, an arroyo flooded across Broadway down past Rio Bravo, leaving cars stranded in mud. Our chief photographer actually shot video of it, but because of the mess and because I-25 is shut down, he was not able to get here. Jessica, back to you.
Okay, Kayla, actually it's me. Now, the storm struck downtown and the zoo especially hard, sending zoo concert goers scrambling. News 13's Alex Goldsmith braved it all. He's live near 12th and Lead. Alex?
Dick, we were trying to get to the zoo to do a live shot. We couldn't quite get there. We're actually here at 12th and Lead, a few blocks away. And as you can probably see behind me, there's some cars braving some of these flooded side streets downtown. We don't have any idea how many of these homes and apartments are suffering flood damage, but if you can tell here, it could be quite a few. A lot of water out here. Now take a look earlier at what the zoo looked like. This was absolutely amazing. This is viewer video taken from the concert shelf looking back toward the lawn. You can see the beating the trees took both in here and out front. At one point, branches were heading sideways. It looked like something from a Florida hurricane season. Take a look at this downright spooky picture taken of the lawn area. You can see the coolers and chairs were left behind while people took cover. By the time we got there tonight, that same area was effectively a lake. Buckets, McDonald's cup, even a toppled lamp lying in the middle of the mess. I saw plenty of people heading for the exits. Some left broken umbrellas behind them. Elsewhere downtown, it was just as bad. Fallen tree branches blocking the road. Water flooding downtown side streets, making some practically undrivable. The water above the sidewalks in a lot of the area downtown. I even saw some firefighters scrambling to get to their truck to go and help people and control the chaos. Now tomorrow, the zoo will be closed while crews clean up
very quickly for people who were on the road. News 13's Tina Jensen was one of them. Tina?
Like anyone who was out driving around knows, the storm hit suddenly. Check out this video from photojournalist James Lawrence. He was caught right in the heart of the storm as it rolled into town at I-25 and Tramway. Our Gabby Burkhart shot this video from a restaurant across from UNM, and intersections started to flood soon after, even before the arroyo started to fill up. And the wind started to cause serious problems. We saw this trampoline stuck in a power line by Yale and Gibson near the airport. And one thing I noticed, drivers out on I-25 and I-40 all seemed to put their hazard lights on at the exact same time, right in the heart of the storm. Back to you.
Right, just a mess. Now, the freak of monsoons has swept through tonight's packed Isotopes game. Lawrence Gilligan was there and continues our team coverage with the damage at Isotopes Park.
Yeah, that's right, Jessica. A typical night during monsoon season with plenty of rain and lightning, although nobody at Isotopes Park seemingly realized just how strong this thing was. Typically, well, I use our own video equipment. However, the high winds and heavy rain left me with just cell phone video. This game is postponed in the bottom of the first inning. The Isotopes field crew, as well as members of the Isotopes staff, trying to get the tarp on before severe rain and the winds just too strong. A few of the crew members were swept underneath the tarp. According to the Isotopes front office, nobody was injured in this ordeal. I've never seen anything like this at Isotopes Park. Coming back from the park was definitely crazy too. Fans scurrying to their cars, trying to get out of the rain. Bed signs as well as broken tree branches on the side of the road. Power out on city blocks as people try to make it home without stalling in high water. Looks like Pirates of the Caribbean out there. One car, not so lucky. Definitely the story around here. Well, on a lighter note.
All right, and we will have continuing coverage on the storm and all of monsoon season. Mark's full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Alex just pointed out exactly why that is. There's still a lot of flood water out there that needs to drain out, so be very careful in central sections of the state. Flash flood watches continue across the southwest at this hour because we still have storms moving into that area. So we show you what's happening at this point. Lighter rain, and in fact, many west side residents are now saying, no, we're not getting any rain anymore, which is just fine. Seeing everything calm down up to the north as well. However, as you slide farther down to the south, we're still getting some moderate rainfall in portions of Valencia County, stretching down into Socorro County, especially in the southern portion of Socorro County. We're seeing some very heavy rainfall rates with some big-time storms still going here. For you guys across southwestern New Mexico, you've been one of the favorite areas here over the past few days. You're still seeing some storms from TRC and Elephant Butte Lake stretching back towards Silver City, but not into town, and down into the Boot Heel as well at this hour. So we're seeing some impressive rainfall out there continuing. It will start to die down tonight, but the approached the Albuquerque metro area. They collided with a storm that was in place just around the Placitas area. So these two came together, formed a bigger storm, and they rolled right through the city here. Weren't moving all that quickly, and boom, another round of flooding across the area and some major league issues, obviously, on top of what we had about this time last night as we got ready for another storm that came through. So those two back-to-back were big-time trouble. More on the overall setup here in just a minute. 65 degrees.